Good evening, everybody. I got two people to say good evening. My name is James Dickerson. I'm doing super fantastic, charged up with positive energy, exuberant and excited about life, ready to face my next challenge with courage and enthusiasm.
Hey.
If I was doing any better, my smile would be a socially intrusive maladaptive behavior. Jacked out of my mind and I ain't taking it back. Come on, y'all, give it up for me right now. You can't help it.
Can't help it.
You can't help it, right?
Come on, boy. Come on,
Man, I explode like that every time I get a chance to, because we all know that life is like a vapor. Life is like a vapor. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Life is like a vapor, and time is not my friend. Ain't never been my friend.
Ooh.
Time has been my enemy the whole time I've been here.
Woo.
And I used to think time was my boy.
Ah.
When you're younger, you really think time is your boy, don't you?
Yeah.
You think you got time on the leash,
Well,
but it's not your friend, it's your enemy. It
Shut up,
never
boy.
waited on you one day.
Talk.
Man, if I had friends that I grew up with that wouldn't wait on me, boy, one thing that was gonna happen when we got back to the hood was gonna be me, you left me. Right? So I'm like that about time. Time don't wait on me. So because of that, I do everything I can to maximize it. Every chance I get, and I make it my slave.
Woo.
So, like I said, I'm James Dickerson. I want to welcome you guys out tonight to Global 1000 together with NexCore's Money Talk Monday. We do this every Monday night. Start at 6 o'clock, and we kind of start at 6 o'clock. And there's always delicious food prepared by Fatima Ross,
Hey.
a RossWay kitchen, and make sure you get one of her cards so that you can remember her. And when you're having an event, and make sure you hire Fatima. Fatima happens to be the daughter of one of the owners of NexCore, Mr. Larry Cohn.
Oh.
So Larry, you didn't know that was Larry's daughter?
No. That's the one you told the story about.
Yeah,
on the road.
that's the one he told the story about. Yeah,
Shut up.
that's one of them. She
Come
got
on
a
here.
sister. So
where the car?
that's right. Huh?
Where the car's located?
All right. So there's cards up there on the bar, and make sure you grab one of those. And remember Fatima when you're ready to hire a caterer. So we do this every Monday night. It's sponsored by Global 1000 and NexCore. And NexCore is the building that we're in. There's some NexCore members here present. I'm a NexCore member. And if you're not a NexCore member, I encourage you to pay attention to the document that's on your table, which tells you that because you came through here on Monday night, you can get a discount on the membership for the first 3 months. You get the first couple of weeks to try it out for free, just because you came through here. So we're grateful to NexCore for everything that they do to support this Money Talk Monday, because it's an important part of the puzzle. It's an important part of the puzzle for what we have to accomplish as a people in our community. Before Dr. King left this planet, the last thing he was working on was economic empowerment. And economic empowerment is the final chorus in our Freedom Symphony that has to be finished, that has to be completed. In order for us to be truly free, we got to even out the economic playing field, right? And one thing for sure, Frederick Douglass said that power conceives nothing without a struggle, without a demand. And that where there is no struggle, there can be no progress. He said, power conceives nothing without a demand. And where there is no struggle, there can be no progress. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. That if we're going to win, the first thing we got to do is we got to do this. Right? We got to link arms. We got to come together. I'm really grateful that when I was growing up, I was impacted by some incredible human beings right here in St. Louis. Having the father that I had, my dad was L.J. Dickerson, founder of Allen Cab Company, And
Talk,
you know,
boy.
if you roll in the Allen cab, I thank you. But when he started Allen Cab, you understand that when he went to go and get his first cars registered, that as taxis, they discriminated against him because of his race, and he had to get his white friend named Allen to go in to City Hall and name the company after himself and get the company
Tell the story.
registered and licensed. And that's how you got the name Allen Cab.
Tell the story.
And so, by the time the 1950s rolled around, it had become the largest taxi company in the state of Missouri with over 130 cabs. That was 20 years before I was born in 1950. He did this in the times of the Depression. So, that was a great man, but let me tell you this. I'm saying this because, you know, people didn't really have much of a problem linking up and, you know, making things happen. Y'all got what I'm saying? Yeah. You think about the fact that you go 100 years prior to that, and you got people coming straight out of slavery, not even 100 years, mind you, because my dad was born in 1916. His father, my grandfather, was born on the plantation where his parents lived as slaves. And my grandfather was born an enslaved baby. And by the time he was about 2 years old was when freedom was granted to them, and they became sharecroppers. And about 2 miles up the road from the plantation where they were slaves was where my dad was born. He grew up 2 miles up the road from the plantation where my grandparents and everybody were enslaved. He grew up around those people. So the oral tradition in our family is really strong. And one of my cousins went down there and bought that land, that plantation. So it's in our family.
Wow.
It's a part of the, yeah, it's in our family. And I'm telling you this because
Praise God.
I'm standing here in front of you, a self-determined man, right? I know who I am, I know whose I am, and I know why I'm here. I'm here tonight because every one of us has a role to play in this thing that Dr. King called the Freedom Symphony. Each one of us has our role. My dad, he knew that his role was to be one of the first players in the taxi industry. And he did other stuff, even though he was totally illiterate. He had a gas station and several other things. He couldn't read anything. He knew that his role was to set entrepreneurship off in the minds of me and my brother. Right?
Amen.
And when I was a little boy, I had an experience where I was sitting in one of his cabs, and there was a guy that was standing on the sidewalk talking to my dad, and the man said, I don't know what my dad said to the man. He said, Chuck. He said, Chuck, I give you my word, man. You got my word on that. You hear me? And that man, Chuck, said, thank you, LG, man. Thank you. That's what I need, man. That's what I need. And the man literally cried. He wasn't like boo-hoo crying, but his eyes watered up and tears fell for gratitude because my dad said, I give you my word. And as my father walked him back around the car to get in with me, the man turned to me and pounded on his chest and looked at me like this. And I knew that it was something to that.
Yeah.
Later I figured it out, that my dad couldn't read the ABCs, he could read people.
Whoa.
And he knew instinctively how to make every human being feel like the single most important thing in the world when it was in his presence.
Go ahead.
It's a legacy that he left.
Hallelujah.
As a 40-year-old man, I was at a gas station on the corner of Grand and Natural Bridge. Y'all know the gas station right there? Mm-hmm. So I was at that gas station, and a man was pumping gas into a cab, and I had pulled up, and he was an older guy, really old. So I walked over to him. I said, excuse me, sir, how long you been a taxi driver? And he looked at me and said, well, young man, I reckon much longer than you've been alive. I said, yeah, I've been there a while. He said, how old are you? I said, I'm 40. I was 40 at the time. I'm not 40 now. But he said, yeah. And I said, yeah, you've been in that long, then you knew my dad. And he said, who was your dad? So I said, my dad's name was L.J. Dickerson. And the man took his hat off, put it over his heart. And then he said, you one of L.J. boys? Then he said, you might not remember me. My name's Chuck. And I said, I do remember you. It was the guy that was shaking my dad's hand. Wow. It was the guy. And he said, your daddy was the original class act cabbie. He gave me my dad's legacy. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
He told me he was the original class act cabbie. My father passed away. It was a long convoy of cabs of all of the cab companies. I'm talking about, I don't know, probably a couple hundred of these suckers. They lined the highway, and he went, we buried him in Marianna, Arkansas, on the land where my grandfather was born a slave. I'm just telling you guys this because we can be something, right?
Hallelujah.
And I'm here to make us something. I know I came from great people, and I'm here to help to make this world a better place than it was when we inherited it. I know my role that I have to play is to continue the legacy of entrepreneurial development in our communities. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, and I'm here to empower other entrepreneurs. And sometimes I've been doing that at the expense of not getting nothing financially out of it.
Well,
And that's not been the point.
yeah.
I've been a man who's experienced the full range. I made my first million when I was 27 years old. I've lived in my dream house, and I have also lived in my car. From this to that and back to this a couple of times.
Yeah. Talk.
In between that was all types of projects, all types of endeavors, all types of things involved in entrepreneurial aspects of business. You can go to business school, talk to the sister the other day. You can go to business school for years and not learn anything about being an entrepreneur. Nothing. In 20 minutes, I can take a person who's been in college for 8 years and absolutely change their life
Hallelujah.
in a way that college never could have. What I'm saying is not to puff me up, but to say that the people that come here on Monday nights, we all kind of have that in common. That's what Monday nights is about. We come here, and I'm speaking about this because my dad's story is the essence of what Monday night is. It's people that's bootstrapping it. People that say, I'm not going to be a slave. What's slavery today? J-O-B. Just over broke. And I'm not the person that ever tells you it's okay to just have a freaking job. I'm never going to do that. You know why? Because it's not okay to just have a job, man. It's not that. It's not. If you really tell yourself the truth, all of us got dream vacations, dream amounts of money we would like to have. If you didn't, you wouldn't have bought no lottery ticket. Dream house that we would like to live in, or a type of shoe I wish I could buy, or something. And guess what? Somebody living in a dream house. Somebody driving your dream car. Somebody taking your dream trips. Somebody wearing those gators you wish you could buy. Somebody is doing something that you wish that you could do. But most of us shrink down our dreams to fit our income instead of expand our income to fit our dreams.
Come on here, sir.
Yeah.
I'm taking my time to do this tonight because we only got one other speaker. And I don't really ever do, I'm never really like the speaker here. So, I guess that I wanted to take some time to just really focus on the fact that this is some serious stuff, man. Everything's at stake. Here's Blake up front. I'll let Blake, tell who he is, but this brother right here, man, when I met him, the first thing I thought was, I gotta find a way to help him with what he's doing. And I started digging in, and I was like, you sell a lot of products. Do you make one? And I found out he make one, and I'm gonna help him with that product.
Shut up.
I didn't ask him for no money. I just said I gotta find a way to help this brother. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I met another sister here named Portia. She wanted me to consult with her about business and help her, to coach her about business. And the more I found out about her, the more I liked. I liked her character, and I liked what she was doing. And then it turned out that my experiences and what she was doing turned into a company. And we done partnered up. Now we got a company. And you'll be hearing a lot about that very soon. Let's call Bag Crazy. She's been selling purses for 12 years. 12 years she's been selling handbags. There's a difference between a purse and a handbag, I guess. I don't know. But she's been selling for 12 years. That's whatever you call it, right? But she's been selling for 12 years. She's had she's been one of the vendors at Soulard, and she's doing parties and all kinds of stuff with these handbags. And when I found out that she could make $1,000 at a handbag party, I'm like, man, you gotta teach that to other women. So it's an exact system, a formula to it. And we took that formula and wrote it down and turned it into a training system and connected that with the dots of the area that I know about. I'm a network marketing expert. I've consulted a lot of network marketing companies, and we merged the two of those things together. It's like handbags meets Mary Kay, right? So you'll hear more about that soon. I'm really excited about it. I think we got $1 billion brand here. So y'all remember Bag Crazy. You heard it first right here. I'm really excited about it. Brother Adam. So I'm gonna get out of the way in a second, but what I want to do before I let Bishop introduce our speaker is give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. So I mentioned Blake. I'll start off with Blake.
How you all doing? I'm Blake Watkins. I'm the owner of I&I Gallery, a business that my mother created back in 1985. We have been stable down in Soulard Market, but we've also had stores in the U-City Loop, 2 stores on South Brand. We used to be down in the station. We used to be down in St. Louis Center. We used to be over there on Cherokee. So we've been around for a while. We sell the very best handmade soaps. We've been selling body oils and burning oils since 1985. My mother was very instrumental in bringing. Nobody knew what body oil was. My mother brought that here. My mother did background work. Met her with a lady from New York, and she started doing body oils. It was in late 84, early 1985. So I've been in the, body, cosmetic, body care industry for a while. I love what I do. I have goals and aspirations. It's just like what James said, we really need to buckle down and just actually get like a tunnel vision. But you know what? Before doing all that, let's just pray. Just ask the Lord to bless us on this journey. Whatever you have in your mind, whatever you have, any aspirations, goals, just pray about it. That's just my opinion, because that's what I know works for me. You can pray to the universe, throw it out there. But what works for me is asking the Almighty God what direction to take. And before any of this started, before I even came to NexCore, I didn't even know James. I didn't even know his name before my opening here in January 3rd. I knew of him, I saw him, but I didn't really know, we wasn't really talking like that. But I've just been praying and asking the Lord to send me help, because I'm one person doing it. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to live. It's hard to do anything out here. But with the Lord's help, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, and that's my goal for 2020. I mean, just staying focused, praying more, getting closer to God, and seeing where it takes me.
Thanks, Blake. Yes, sir. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So it was Blake's first time introducing himself in this crowd, really. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Touch the soul. Everybody else take 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I'm gonna talk, bro.
From here.
My name is Derek Smith. I'm pretty sure some of y'all are familiar with me. Pretty much an entrepreneur, also known as a musician, famously known as Waco. I'm here every week, and I feel his energy. I'm here to get help and facilitate my vision. At the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Oh, I'm Ronnie. I handle the text alert for Global 1000. If you want to receive text messages about what's going on here, I help businesses get text alert to keep in touch with their people, their customers. Nothing's faster than the text because everybody read that. And if you'd like to join our text list, see me after the meeting here, and I'll help you join in. And you'll start to get messages about what's going on here at Global 1000. Thank you.
I'm Antoine Sharp. I'm an entrepreneur visiting today.
Thank you, brother.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Ron Lewell. I'm the faith-based director for Ferguson 1000, Global 1000.
Adam.
What's up, people? So my name is Adam Hopkins. If you look at the tables, this is the $49.99 headshot, 3 headshots for only that price point. They are going to be retouched. The reason why I put it out there is my brand is branding and design. So what that basically looks like is photography. I use photography, videography, any of those kind of sorts, graphic design, web design, UI, UX, customer journey, all that great stuff. To build a brand with a story and a narrative behind it. So branding with intent is what I focus on. So if you guys have any questions, please look at the card or go to the email or the website that's at the end of the email, and then hit me up. Thanks.
Brother Adam. Sister next time.
He's on camera.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stacey Pugh. I'm an entrepreneur, part-time, currently working in higher ed, but my part-time businesses, I do event managing, event strategy, business development, just working with entrepreneurs to help them bring their vision to life. It is by way of events, but I'm looking to pivot more into the tech space with my events. So
There you go.
just checking out the scene, just how it's on Eventbrite and how I come behind.
You found it on Eventbrite.
Praise God.
Ain't that some stuff?
Yeah.
Man, that's
Amen.
really cool.
Welcome.
Chrissy, sweet Chrissy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Christy. My company is Ridiculous Brand LLC. I specialize in real estate and financial services. My niche is creative financing for real estate deals and deal structuring. My goal for the next 2 years for my company is to help 500 people take ownership, and that's ownership of their business, home, financial stability, and I'll do that with personal development and financial education.
Okay. Device.
What is up, everyone? I am Gervais Johnson. I'm a photographer. It's right here in good old St. Louis, Missouri. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I do a lot of specific work with portraits and fashion photography. So.
Yeah, we're gonna work with you too. Yes, sir.
Sure enough.
That's what's up. King.
Hey everyone, my name is Ken Peebles. I am a graphic designer and the owner of Element Graphics. I went off to school at Truman State University in Kirksville, Missouri, and knew I needed some extra cash on the side. So I started designing as a hobby, but what started as a hobby grew into a business, and to this day I am an entrepreneur with my business. Not only do graphics for myself, but I also do graphics for a law firm as well. So I'm seeking to expand my business and be able to help people bring their businesses' ideas to life.
Yeah, man. Y'all gonna create a big conglomerate of these graphic people. That's what I'm gonna do. Man. Sure, right.
I'm Shariah Anderson. I've done freelance branding and marketing for miscellaneous people, small business startups for like 2 years, just as a little side thing to see if it was something I'd be passionate about, and it turned into a huge passion of mine. And we're currently in the development stage of my business, which will be Anderson Creative Group, which will be a one-stop shop for your brand, business, whatever you need to make it come to life.
That's what's up, man. Come on, everybody, give each other a round of applause. I did intentionally the wonderful lady in the back for Bishop to introduce, because I believe she's our speaker tonight. You guys, this is awesome. I love the fact that a lot of people in here are doing things to support other entrepreneurs. That's awesome. And you know, it's enough out here for everybody to get some. Y'all hear me? It's enough out. The worst thing we can do is to think lack and scarcity. You must have an attitude and a mindset of abundance. Whatever your mind is set on, that's going to determine what you're going to get out of this whole deal, man. You focus on abundance, and abundance will start flowing.
Come on now.
You start thinking it ain't enough, then this ain't gonna be enough.
Come on now.
Y'all got that? It's a gold rush happening, and I'm walking away. It's a gold rush happening. It's an entrepreneurial boom right now. And that's a gold rush. That means that people are hearing about it.
Yes, sir.
And they're saying, I need to become my own boss. That's what Bad Crazy is about. But Bad Crazy gives people specifically a business that they can jump into, and they have something to sell. People like most of you guys in here, these people will need you. I need you. Bad Crazy needs you. And all entrepreneurs are going to need people. The consultants, the designers, the photographers. You understand? All of these people, the folks that make us smell good. And he needs y'all too. What I'm saying is that in a gold rush, the people that make the most money in a gold rush ain't the ones that find gold. It's the people that's sitting by the wayside selling maps, picks, shovels, buckets, and all that type of stuff. It's the tools people. Y'all got that, right?
Yeah.
I had to say that because a room full of people that support the gold rush, that will earn an untold fortune from the people that's rushing toward them nar heels to get this be your own boss money. Y'all got a shot to make some real bread. I'm telling you, we're gonna do it together. I got a vision right now. It came to me from in front of this room.
Amen.
All right, I'm getting out of the way. My mama told me that when the train coming, that you get off the tracks so you don't get ran over. There's a locomotive coming behind me, and I'm gonna let Bishop Ron Llewellyn tell who it is. Y'all give it up.
Well, the young lady in the back, her name is Miss Lynette Robinson. She has a company called Light Living Virtual Solutions. Almost. Say it for me.
Lighter living.
Lighter Living Virtual Solutions. Light. I preached light yesterday, so I'm on light. I might give you some leftover light tonight. So lighter, yeah, living virtual solutions. And I'm sure she's going to introduce those two lovely young ladies she has with her. Without further ado, let us put our hands together for Miss Lynette Robinson.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear hear me pretty well. Is this okay?
Yes.
Okay. I am Lynette Robinson, and right away, I'm going to introduce you to my wives.
Yay.
Wow.
My wife. Lindsay, wave your hand.
Hi,
You wave your
Lindsay.
hand. Those are my wives.
Paul.
Those are my wives. I own Lighter Lending Virtual Solutions. My company offers support to entrepreneurs via. You know what? If you pray, please pray, because you know they're 2 and 4, and we gonna try to see how long they're gonna sit before it goes a little off the rails. We're gonna pray that it's not though. So thank you in advance for your prayers. Keep us lifted. Anyway, so my company offers back office support to entrepreneurs. There was so much that you said that is so on point and ties into my business at this time. You are correct in that this is the era where entrepreneurs and people are jumping out there. And I am even one of those people. Tomorrow is my last day at my 9 to 5.
Go ahead.
Oh, goodness.
Freedom.
Yes, it has been a journey. It has been a journey. My thinking and assessment of myself, I would say, over the last 2 years. Because I was one of those people who counted myself out. Like, if you're sitting in church and people say, or I'll actually give myself an example. So my pastor would say, there are entrepreneurs in here. There are authors in here. And automatically, I would just, in my mind, think that that was not applicable to me. Automatically, I just did not think that I would be one that would be stepping out there and being a successful business owner, being an author. And those are things that I'm doing right now. I had to learn how when he said there are entrepreneurs or there are people in here who are debt-free, that does not pass over me.
Amen.
That includes me. He's the person who God has assigned to shepherd me. So if he says there are entrepreneurs
Come on,
in
yeah.
here, that includes me.
Yeah.
If he said there are authors
Talk.
in here, then I go into prayer and I have on what it is that I'm writing, because I am writing at this time. I might walk a little bit too.
That's all right.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. No, that's not funny. So, no, baby. No. So sorry. They're going to walk with me for a little bit. I hope you all don't mind. This is going to be a very interactive session as well. So as I explain my business to y'all, come on, baby. I want you to feel free to jump in and ask me any questions that come to your mind. If you wonder how it's applicable to you in your business, or how it may be applicable to the businesses of people that you know, feel free to just raise your hand or jump in with whatever your question is, and I'm happy to answer. So, in addition to my wives, I've been in corporate America for almost 20 years. And I got to a point where I decided that I didn't want to continue to put in hours and hours of work, stress about climbing up that corporate ladder for someone else's goal and purpose. My father is a pastor. I've been taught to serve my entire life. And even though my current job, I do feel like serves a very significant purpose and is very impactful, it's not as impactful as I need it to be for me and what I know that God is calling me to do.
Amen.
So in addition to my wives, I have to really get to what I know I need to be doing to have positive impact on the entrepreneurs of this era.
Yeah.
And that's my vision, to contribute positively to the entrepreneurs of this era. And how I do that in my business is providing administrative support, creative support, and technical support. My entire background is in sales in the technology industry. So I am familiar with cloud computing and security, apps, wireless data, broadband, fiber services, phone services via SIP and PRI.
my technical background spans over quite a few areas. And when you're in sales, you have to be able to manage projects. You have to be able to keep your sales funnel. You have to keep up different administrative functions so that you're able to operate appropriately and service your clients.
Yes.
I bring all of that into my business with Lighter Living Virtual Solutions. Jumping into the services that I offer, I'll just run down the list for you. Bookkeeping. I am not an accountant. What I do is prepare your ledger, make sure your receipts are together. We decide what type of electronic software you might use to do that, and I prepare everything so that you can take it to the accountant at tax time and be fully prepared and have everything all together. Calendar management, email management. I put a post on my Facebook a week or so ago, and I asked people how many email addresses they have and how many unread emails are in your email box right now. Wow. And exactly. I had someone even respond, please stop, that had 88,000 emails in unread emails in her inbox. So if you're productive, if you're organized, how do you open your inbox and there are 88,000 unread emails? What goes into email management is me deciding what emails, with your input of course, what do you look at when you go into your email box? What do you open? What do you not open? I put a spam filter on your inbox. That way you don't continue to get the spam that you've been getting every single day. We assign folders, personal and work. Personal emails, what do you open? Who do you get emails from that you want to be organized? We do subfolders in work and personal, and I set a rule to where any emails that come in from those people, they go right to those folders. That way, when we have that spam killer, and we've got some rules set up for the email that you open, you go from 88,000 emails to just what you want to see. I can do that on an ongoing basis. I can do it for you one time and then show you how to maintain that moving forward. So when you go into your inbox, you're not overwhelmed with all that's there or fishing through everything that's there. When you go in, you see what you need to see. Because a lot of us are going in our inbox, we're looking at the emails in bold, and we're fishing through for what we know we're looking for and leaving everything else. And when you think about it, it doesn't give you the most opportune chance to operate efficiently. So the same can happen for your calendar. What do you want your week to look like? As a salesperson, please stand up, babe. Thank you. I do time blocking. I set aside time for prospecting. I set aside time to do actual administrative work. I set aside time to do any preparation that I need to do, any printing out that I need to do, any research that I need to do for meeting clients. I set aside time, blocked time out on my calendar to do that so that I'm prepared no matter what for my day. Now that might be hard for people to stick to every now and then, but what I've learned, especially delving off into this entrepreneurial place, is that discipline and routine have become my best friends.
Yeah.
If I create the discipline to get up early, get my prep for the day done, the rest is routine. And the more I do it, how many times does it say do it? 21 days in a row and it becomes a routine? It becomes a habit? So there are small things that you can do that are very practical things that we all know of. Sometimes we just get out of the practice or the habit. So I'm here to give you the structure by way of all of the apps that are out here today, by way of the learnings over 15 to 20 years in corporate America being in sales technology. So we did bookkeeping, email management, calendar management. Essential to everyone's business is client relationship management and building a database. Do you have a database where you keep the names and contact information of the people that you want to reach by your drip marketing? If you don't, I help you establish that database. if you want to do things on an ongoing basis to let them know what you're doing, what you have coming out. I help set you up with software or an app that will help you continue to reach out to them in an automated fashion. Part of the services I offer is also content creation. So if you need me to put together an email for you, I can put together the email for you, or if you have the email put together, or the social media post put together. I have an app that basically plans out your whole social media calendar for the month, or we could do it for a week. It's up to you. We put all the content together, we will review it, you and I show you how it's all gonna be laid out. How many people have Instagram? How many people notice that the pages that appeal to you most are pages that are beautiful, that have the pictures and colors that jump out at you a certain way? When you're just thinking of posts one by one on any given day that you have time to actually create the post, it's difficult to make sure that your Instagram, when someone clicks on your Instagram name and everything that they see, it may or may not be organized unless you have a strategy around it. So what we can do is use an app to put together all of the content, all of the colors. If you have brand colors that you've selected, we can make sure that those colors are included in those photos. So when someone clicks on your Instagram, they see your branding constantly. Do you want to post daily? We can make arrangements for your post to go out at the top of the morning so people have an opportunity to see it all day long. Or do you want to post at the top of the day and at lunch? We can post. We can make sure that your post goes out at those times and you're not even pushing a button. It's all me. And really, I'm just pushing a button because the content is all prepared for you. So in addition to those things, travel research and planning. How many people are traveling for business? This is why you see these two lovely ladies tonight, because their dad is traveling for business. And I just so happen to forget. Thank you very much, by the way.
There you go.
So, travel research and planning, which is pretty self-explanatory. Virtual receptionist. How many people, when you talk about dedicated time to do tasks, would like to not have their phone constantly going on? I have a line where you can forward your calls to me. I will take your calls, give information. We will discuss in advance. If there are frequently asked questions that people often call you and ask you, I will deliver that information. I will take messages. So at the end of the period of time, and I turn their phones back over to you, I can say, this is who's called, this is their name, this is their phone number, this is what they would like to know if I don't have the information to give them. And another part of the calendar management that I overlooked. So I can manage your calendar for you, or we can manage it together. So as we talked about the time blocking, what I can do is ask you, what does an ideal week look like for you? Do you have times where you want to meet with potential clients? If I'm managing your calendar and you're talking with someone via text or email or on the phone, you could say, hey, my executive assistant is Lynette Robinson. I'm going to text you her information. Reach out to her so you can get on my calendar. And I'll place that person in the time that we've set aside for you so that your weeks aren't going crazy. Because sometimes as entrepreneurs, what people fall into the habit of is spending so much time in the support part of the business that it takes your attention away from building the business.
Building it.
And your actual reason and passion for why you created the business in the first place.
Amen.
You
Amen.
can really thwart your progress if you spend too much time in the nuts and bolts and not in building the vision and growing your business. So what Lighter Living Virtual Solutions is here to do is come alongside you, put a little wind up under those wings, give me those things that you can let go, that are the support, that are the nuts and bolts, so that you are able to spend more time in the reason why you actually jumped out there in the first place. So, let me make sure I went through everything that we offer. I said virtual receptionist, I said travel, research and booking. Did I say event planning support?
No.
Okay. I'm not an event planner, but what I do very well is create and negotiate contracts. So if you do have a person that's planning an event for you, if you have vendors and you need to get agreements out to those vendors, we can put together those agreements. If the vendors have agreements that they want to send over, we can get those agreements for you. Anything that I can do back office, and that's the other key to this business that's very important. Everything is mobile, everything is moving, everything is tablets, phones. You can talk to me and continue with your day. I came here to talk with you. So that meant me driving 45 minutes from Creedcourt to the south side, and then I'll be driving probably about 30 minutes back because there won't be any traffic. When you have someone like me, we're virtual. So you can schedule a Skype call, a Zoom call, you can call me on the phone, we can share a screen through another app that I have. You don't have to get dressed and worry about having to drive anywhere to meet me. We can talk on the phone 15, 20 minutes, and then you're off to the rest of your day. I do offer 3 packages that have hours, certain amount of hours in them. The minimum amount of hours that I accept from people is 10 hours. Here's why. There has to be a real need for you to pay me hourly. I charge $30 an hour. If you don't have 10 hours of work for me to do, you don't have a need for me. You have a time management issue. So I can walk you through how to rearrange your schedule or rearrange your day so that since you don't have quite 10 to 12 hours of work, we get you the most you can get out of the time that you have. And then once you're building and building and building and you get to the place where you do need someone 10, 12, 20 hours, you never know, then you can bring me on. The other key that people find really, really helpful about this business outside of it being all virtual is that you don't have to worry about the overhead of a regular employee. You don't have to worry about office space and supplies. You pay for me when you need me, and when you don't have it to worry about. It's not a continuing business expense. I'm an independent contractor, so I get paid by, invoice. I send it to you electronically, PayPal, Square, Cash App, whatever you got, I take it. But again, you don't have to worry about payroll. I take all of that off of you. Everything that I do is automated. I love the fact that I know about so many apps and I get to introduce those to entrepreneurs in a way that will positively impact them. So when we have our discovery call, we run through the list of services that I provide because usually something that I've said jumps out like, oh, I need that. I need help in that area. So in our discovery call, we talk about, of the list of services that I've spoken about, what is it that jumped out at you that is the reason for us being on the phone? One of the things I also pride myself on, and I've learned about quite a bit over the last 15 years I've spent in corporate America, is how to learn your client. I not only learn you personally, and I don't mean all your personal business, I mean the habits and outlook that you have that transcends over into how you run your business. And then I also learn about your business and your priorities so that the things that I do resonate with the things that are important to you. Because it's not going to be a good relationship if you're paying me to do things that don't matter. So the key is in the discovery, we find out what matters and where you need the most support and what will impact you right away. And I get started with that. I send you a quote, you accept the quote, I send you an invoice, and right after you get that invoice, you get an agreement to sign, and I start working for you. Any questions?
Yeah, so it's all, they're like, it's not like period of time, like
Typically, the agreements are monthly.
monthly.
And that's how I'm starting out. I officially launch on February 20th.
Yeah.
That's when my video will go up, all the social media will go up, the website will go up, and I will be sharing live content with you all on the business, letting you know we're here and ready to receive you. Right now, I'm testing all of the systems to make sure when I send that quote, you got it. When you sign that quote, you got that invoice.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like to make sure that when people deal with me, they're experiencing a level of excellence.
Hallelujah.
That level of excellence has to carry on over to your business. Because if you don't have that experience with me, how are you supposed to trust me to give your clients an experience of excellence? So we're testing everything right now, making sure the website is consistent with what's on social media, and then after that's all done and over with, we'll be live to 2020.
Question,
Sure.
you say you'll send over a quote, is that quote in addition to the initial charge for like the $30 an hour?
You are not charged until your agreement is signed. I don't start working until the agreement is signed.
Okay. let me
You
put-
get the quote so that you have a picture of, number one, the package that you've agreed to. So thank you for that question. Right now, the 3 packages are 12 hours, 24 hours, and 36 hours. This is phase 1 of the business where we're doing packages. We will get off into blog management, more social media management. Right now, I offer social media planning and engagement. So we plan what posts will go up on your social media. If you're going live and you have people that are talking to you or wanting to ask you questions, I interact with those people so you're able to stay focused on the content of your live while I am interacting with the people who are trying to get your attention. So we will get into social media management. Then those packages will come with their own separate costs. So right now, most social media and digital marketing companies, based on what the client needs, could charge anywhere between $1,000 and up a month to completely manage your social media across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, or LinkedIn. It's pretty pricey. So right now, I'm not getting too off into that. We are getting at the ground level right now, phase 1, which is introductory creative, technical, and administrative. So 12, 24, and 36 hours package.
So you said Pinterest too?
Oh, a lot of businesses make money off
Oh,
Pinterest.
no, I'm hip to that. I'm
Yes.
saying that's one of your pieces.
Yes. Yes, I'm not doing Pinterest management right now. By
I'm
summer,
not doing that right now. Okay,
by
I
summer,
understand.
we'll be there. We'll be
Okay,
there.
okay.
We'll be there.
Man.
So, let me ask this question a different way.
Sure.
If we gave a quote for the 24-hour,
Yes.
did you say 24?
Yes.
24. Is there an additional charge that you would actually give a quote on in addition to that quote there
I'm not sure I understand.
for something else? So say if I chose a package and then you say you want to send me a quote, is there an additional charge that you'll be adding on to that for?
To send me the quote, to send you the quote?
Mhm.
No. So when you go to my website, ideally this is how your experience is going to go. Say after something like this, you go onto my website and you fill out my client intake form. It's going to ask you your name, your company name, email address, phone number, your time zone. Because this is virtual, you can be on the East Coast, you can be on the West Coast, you can be anywhere because you're not seeing me. We're talking by phone. I don't have to drive up to you. Everything I do is online. So ask for your time zone, and there's a box for any additional information that you would like for me to know. That information comes to me, I look at it, and I reach out to you, or you can access my calendar on my website to schedule a time to speak with me that works for your schedule. That time is what I call a discovery call, where I take the opportunity to learn about what it is you would like to work with me on. That information that we discuss and identify in that call is what I put in the quote. Because once I get a feel for what you need, I can determine how many hours it's going to take me to complete your task. So I'm not sending the quote until I've had a conversation with you where we establish an agreement and understanding for what you need and how long that might take.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Come on,
It's pretty smooth, young lady.
thank you.
I mean, you pretty much laid it out for us.
Yeah, pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Good.
can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
First time.
Amen.
gonna send you the business card, it'll come to you via text.
On the left.
There's no paper
I mean, how do we,
right
okay, if
now.
I leave today,
Oh, no. If you wanna get in contact with me today, I'll take your information down so that
Oh,
I
I
can get in
see.
contact with you. That's the part that's still in development. When Mr. McCarthy reached out to me, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm not launched yet, so I probably
Okay,
shouldn't
I
do
follow
this.
you. I
But at the same time, I was like, you know what, no, I'm
Hallelujah.
going. I'm
Right.
going to do it. I'm gonna explain to them that I'm launching on the 20th.
Right.
But between now and then, like, I've already signed 2 clients, and I really just started I just had my first conversations with people about this 2 weeks ago. This is something that I've just been developing. And I listen to a lot of podcasts and just things that are informative. What I put in, I've been changing a lot of what comes in to change my thinking. And one of the things that I have learned recently is if you wait until it's perfect, you're gonna wait too long. It'll never be perfect.
Shut up.
It will never be perfect. So I keep reminding myself, it will never be perfect. My friend Jade Harrell sent out an email saying that there was gonna be a TED Talk coming. I looked at it, and before I even thought about it, I had filled out the whole application and sent it, and I was like, wait a minute, why did you do that? But then I thought to myself, no, don't think about it, send it, if they like you, great. If you get a no, so what, you just try it again. So, all that to say, I didn't let the fact that everything's not together stop me from coming.
Okay.
We could certainly get
so
together.
you'll be back with some material once you get started in that.
I can, is that an invitation?
Yeah.
Okay. I would love to come back. I don't do paper. So I don't know if this is interactive where I can go onto my website and show you those things. I can go into my calendar with you. I can introduce you to a couple apps. I would be happy to come back.
Let me ask you a question. How come you don't do paper? You feel that business cards don't work? Because I've been taking my business cards for a couple of years
It's
now.
not that I feel like paper doesn't work. It's just easier. It's the way things are going. It's the way things are going. I don't keep paper. I just don't. It's easier. Everything is in my phone. Everything is on my tablet. I mean, paper's backup, but it's kind of like another thing. People are so into their phones now. And then the phones, if you're all one operating system, like all my Apple devices are all interconnected. If I forget my phone, my tablet's right there, it has all the same information. When I go home and get on my laptop, it's gonna have all that information. Same for Android. My first 10 years were with Verizon. So I know Android, I know Apple, I all the mobile devices, I've been there, done that. So in my line of work, you have to be familiar because everybody doesn't have iOS devices, some people have Androids. So I'm familiar across both. I have apps for both.
I tell you what, I'll just set her up with text alert so she can have mobile business cards. How's that?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to compliment you on something that I don't know if people understand what you did earlier, but you were giving a presentation while being kind and loving to your daughters and managing them at the same time.
Thank you.
I just want to commend you for that. To do that in front of a room full of men and show your truth and then own it the way you did. You need thank you. Oh, that's fine.
That means, so I can't even tell you how much that means to me that you said that.
Yeah.
Really, thank you so much. Because normally, we're only kid-free on Mondays, but hey, we make it do what it do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Come on, ask me some more questions.
We'll have you back for our best of series, Ms. Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, our best of series. Give you a chance to launch, get off feet, and let these people connect with you. And one of the things I found that you all love to do is hear the speaker and then, the network after the meeting. So give Ms. Robinson another hand. And
Because I heard everyone, as they introduce themselves, give a little picture into what they do. There's another part to my business that will grow, and that is my subcontracting. I have a lot of technical experience, but I don't know how to build a website. and I don't know all that much about coding, graphic design. So I actually have a client right now that needs some website services that I don't offer. So I will love the opportunity to be able to refer over as subcontractors and build that network out, because you are right. We can all connect. We are all interconnected. It will take all of us supporting each other to really push this era of entrepreneurs forward. And even doing that, we're pushing each other together in addition to the people that we're serving and supporting. And it is my privilege and my pleasure to be alongside any entrepreneur that chooses me in business to be the support that they need. That is my honor. I love to serve and do that honorably, humbly. I really appreciate you all taking the time to listen. I hope that we interact after this, even after as we walk out of this building. If I can do anything, even if it's offering support or listening on a phone call, I would be happy and honored to do that for any of you in this room. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't watch it. There's a card for web design. You can grab the card if you don't mind. Go ahead and grab it. Yeah, you go. Go ahead and pick that on up. Amen.
Ned Robinson, yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you so much.
I think the order of the day is that we're operating in the spirit of excellence.
Amen.
So we are operating in the spirit of excellence, and Lynette Robinson was a, so we're gonna network in just a second. In just a second. So I wanted to mention that Global 1000 started in 2014. It was first called Ferguson 1000 after the tragedy that took place on Canfield Drive when Mike Brown Jr. was murdered with his hands in the air, and as he was trying to surrender to a police officer. And you know, there was a lot of social unrest as a result of that, and you know, a lot of people have fought to bring about, you know, a lot of social solutions. There was at least one gentleman who said that you can't solve economic problems with you know, social solutions. So he started Ferguson 1000 in order to create 1,000 jobs in Ferguson, and then began to support the development of more entrepreneurs in Ferguson. And that's how this started. And it was Dr. Elance McCarthy. So Dr. Lance was out of town for the Grammys. He had an event there. He usually does a pre-Grammy event for a Global 1000 pre-Grammy event. And so he did that this weekend. So that's why he wasn't here tonight. And I wanted to mention him because obviously if I was a minister at Bishop's Church and he was out of town, I wouldn't say, I would never not say, give it honor to God and to the pastor in his absence. I would say that, wouldn't I? So, Dr. Lance is not here, but his energy and his spirit is here, and his vision certainly is, because we're all manifestations of a picture that he had in his mind in August of 2014. And it continues on, and this stuff happens all over the country. Global 1000 will be doing, will be a part of the Super Bowl too. There's a party, and a Super Bowl party, right? But on that Saturday before the Super Bowl, there's there's a pitch session for entrepreneurs to come and pitch their business in front of some billionaires and stuff like that. So a lot of cool stuff going on through Global 1000, and just wanted you guys to know that and to know who the gentleman was that set it all in motion. So thank you guys again for coming out tonight. Now I'm going to get out of the way and let Bishop, as is our tradition, Dr. Lance is unapologetically a spiritual man, and so Global 1000 is inclined towards to hear a word from the Most High, and it always comes out of the mouth of Bishop Ron Llewellyn. So take us home, Bishop.
We had a couple of gentlemen that came in, about three, one with the camera in his hand. You have 10 seconds to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
All right, I'm Janelle Beckley. I guess you could say entrepreneur, of course. My company is Financial Fanatics and Consortium. One of the things, many things that I do is design clothes and produce, direct, or build brands. And I'm here through the Global 1000. I forgot his name. I don't know how I just forgot your name that fast.
It's all right, brother.
But
Unforgettable.
and, my cousin and everything. But yeah, we'll be shooting an episode tonight. The Elephant in the Room podcast. That's basically it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Charles Gladney. You know what I'm saying? I'm too, I'm an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Owner of the LLC, Black Harbor. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say, like, corresponding to what he was saying, we'll be shooting the podcast tonight. The Elephant in the Room, just like, and it's like to just like shed light on to like what's going on in the St. Louis community and the St. Louis area. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneuring and stuff like, because I feel like we really don't get that much recognition that we need, but you know, like, and I just want to just tune in that I and my family members as well, with Financial Fanatics, Royal Family as well, and I mean, first of all, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for Global 1000. So I just want to say, shouts out to Dr. Lance, McCarthy, you know, and the good people in Global 1000, you know, and NexCore as well. So
Mr. Davis.
yeah, Mr. Dix, right? But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And it's just like, we just want to keep moving forward and shed light on this, because we all are somebody, entrepreneurs, and we move forward, and that's what it's about.
Yes, sir.
Cameraman, you want to say something?
Cameraman.
It's me, right?
My name is Cameraman.
Hold on, let me get my voice ready.